Recently, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama was in town to speak at the Newark Peace Education Summit and to pay a visit to the Newark Museum, home to the largest collection of Tibetan art in the Americas. His visit coincided with the museum's Tibet Collection Centennial Celebration, which included events like the 5-day creation of a sand mandala by 4 monks.
There's a process in which you ritually consecrate the space in which you will create a sand mandala. And for our sand mandala, we're going to have a Chenrenzé sand mandala. And that is the Bodhisattva of compassion. And people can watch them in the process of the creation, which is an exciting performance art in and of itself.
The museum began collecting and interpreting and talking about this very special culture long before other American museums or European museums. Good. The fact that we're celebrating the centennial of the Tibetan collection precisely at the same time that His Holiness was asked to make his 4th visit to the museum, to Newark, through the Peace Education Summit, I consider the best example of serendipity and the magic that this collection just works constantly. I think karma is the right word, and I believe it has achieved a certain dignity. It is art historically extremely important, but more importantly, it talks about culture.
I think as a testament to the quality of the work in this collection, in 1990 the Dalai Lama came to the museum to bless sacred objects from temples as well as to bless an altar which they have here. And I think for Tibetan people and also for practicing Buddhists, they see the objects in this museum not just as works of art but as important devotional objects. And I've known many Buddhists and Buddhist monks that have come to Newark specifically to see devotional objects in this museum which have come from temples in Tibet and other places in the Himalayas.
We actually sent a request to the Dalai Lama to find out if, in his mind, the altar had become consecrated over time. And the answer was yes, that it had become consecrated space due to this vivification by the people who visited it.
It's very rare to have an altar that was consecrated, and what that means is that the deities were formally invited to inhabit the sculpture and the paintings in the altar space through a ritual ceremony conducted by His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama. And as part of that consecration, devotees come and they pray. We have one security guard who prays every day at the altar in the evening. Religious art is absolutely art. It's art for religion's sake, but it's also art for art's sake, because as in any religious art, aesthetics are part of the religious experience. To help transcend your everyday life into something more spiritual. And in many ways, I think actually modern art is doing exactly that same function today, but we guise what the word religion means in very different terms than perhaps in the past.